Well, hey everybody, 650 Ebe here, and welcome home to the channel. In this episode of the new bike build series, Zak the Master Mechanic is going to improve the already amazing braking system on our 2023 Aprilia RSV4 factory speed white that we have nicknamed the Grape Ape. He's going to install a full Brembo braking system supplied to us by our good buddy Miami Manny from beautiful sunny Miami, Florida. He's going to put that onto that bike. Once we're all done modifying this amazing machine, we're going to offer it to one of you outstanding people viewing these videos, information on how you can join our Patreon family and perhaps win this beautiful speed white Grape Ape. Once we're done with it, it's always the first link in the description of my videos. But the bike already looks amazing, especially with these OZ Racing forged wheels that have been painted purple to match the purple accents on this machine. Everyone agrees that they look absolutely outstanding, and so does the beautiful full titanium exhaust that you can see the headers and everything changing colors since the fairings are removed. That's installed in this beautiful system, and so is the beautiful Samco red hoses that are not very visible when the fairings are installed, but we can see them clearly right now. This bike looks amazing. Lots of parts have already been installed, and quite a few more parts are yet to be installed. And once it's done, it'll be time for us to randomly select a winner for this machine. What a beautiful bike. Every single time we work on it, it looks even better. But not only does it look good, hey guys, this thing sounds amazing. I hope that didn't scare you. I'm gonna get this thing pushed inside so Zak can start working on it. Zak, is that bike actually on your bench?
It is actually on my bench. Happy to be back. We're here with the new bike build series back in Cleveland, Ohio. Beautiful sunny day. Yeah, man. Nice and breezy. It's actually not 4 million degrees. It was way hotter yesterday. Yeah. Looking to be hot next week, but we got a nice one today. And we got the Aprilia back up on the bench. Had a couple little issues we were checking out. Some coolant leaks. Looks like just the hose was loose. That's why all the body panels are off. But we want to leave them off for a little bit, make sure we really got this problem fixed for sure. Other than that, we got a front master cylinder from Moto Million, and it is the Brembo 17 RCS Corsa Corta. So 17 millimeter, that just means 17 millimeter piston diameter. That must be what's spec'd for this bike. This is probably a 17 millimeter as well. It does have a Brembo master cylinder on it. I can't see any numbers. Maybe when we get it off, we can look. But this one is far more adjustable. Yes. So this being the Corsa Corta, it actually winds up having like 6 adjustments. You have neutral, street, and race. And what this does is that's how quickly your brakes engage. So in neutral, it's the most forgiving. So if you pull, you might have to pull the lever like this far before you feel the brakes start to bite. When you put it on sport, you might only have to pull it this far. And then on race, you barely have to pull the lever to feel the bite. And then the other adjustment, which we don't really talk about that often, is the fulcrum adjustment, which there's usually a rubber cover over this I'll put on. There's a little flathead screw in here, and if we look here, when I turn it, you'll see this turn red. So it's red when it's at 18 millimeters. So that put our distance from here to here at 18 millimeters. And then if we go back and we turn it so that the red disappears, then we're at 20. And I believe 18 will give you even more bite. It's something you just have to try. And like you're like, oh, I like the way it bites in sport, which S is actually, it's not street, it's sport. I like the way it bites in sport, but I want a little different feel. You try this adjustment, then that might be your perfect setup. It's just something you kind of have to mess around with. We usually wind up leaving it in the 20 millimeter and on sport. So that's just what holds our brake fluid. It's called the reservoir. This is not glass, it's plastic. If you spray brake cleaner in it, it etches it.
Ask us how we know that.
Yeah. All right, fun part number 1 done. We got all the brake fluid out of the system. So now we're ready to remove our stock Brembo master cylinder and reservoir. So we just got to pull the brake line off, then the clamp bolts, and the 1 bolt up here. So one of the cool things if you become a Patreon member is you get these behind the scene videos. And we were just doing one, and while we were behind the scenes, I got the master cylinder itself installed. We put some new crush washers on the bolt for the brake line, got the brake line on. It's the same factory bolt, so that's cool. Now we got to fit our Rizoma reservoir. Nothing too exciting there. So off camera, I kind of took their linkage that they gave us to mount it and rigged it up to where I think I found a decent spot. I like it here. We'll have to double check that it clears, but I don't see an issue with that. And then we're gonna run straight down for the hose, I believe. Yeah, because I don't think it'll kink. We're gonna try to go straight up and down, I think. So in your master cylinder kit, you get one that's a 90 degree, which if we were to put that in here, we would have to swivel and make clearance. It might work. Or we can go straight up and down. I'm thinking straight up and down. Let's double check it one more time. Kind of wound up making it look just like the factory bracket.
Yeah.
I took their pieces and just put them together that way. I had to take apart everything to make that work. This is the last thing we need to figure though. I guess if that swivels, because we can't have any kinks in this hose. All right, so we got our master cylinder mounted. Now we have to fill the brake system back up with brake fluid and get all the air out. Because we've gone over it before, we've rigged up little things. If you go look at previous videos, we've done some cool stuff with, I've rigged up a master cylinder and a caliper, like so we can watch the air come out and see how it actually works. But air doesn't compress when you pull on it, the fluid does. So you wind up with a spongy lever if you have air. That's why we gotta get all the air out. So what I like to do is just fill up your reservoir. And then we got to get to these awesome bleeders on the inside of the calipers. Just open up the farthest away point. And then I'll vacuum through. We should see that fluid level dropping. Yep. And we got to get there before it sucks it all out, because otherwise it would suck air right back in. So we'll let this do that a couple times. This is where the vacuum bleeder comes in handy. So we bled out we pulled fluid to the far caliper, then the close one, and then the last thing we do is there's a bleeder on top of our master cylinder here. We'll pull fluid into there. And you got to be careful when you're working with brake fluid. You don't want to get it on anything painted. And if you do, you have to spray water on it right away, because it will eat paint or stain windscreens or stain dashboards. And then as we pump it, we should watch the fluid level drop.
It's dropping.
Yep, and air bubbles coming out. And I'm starting to get a lever feel. You just do little bumps sometimes. I'll even just flick it forward and you'll see some air bubbles emerge there.
Yeah.
And I already have somewhat of a brake lever. You can see it doesn't go all the way back to the bar.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna, there went an air bubble. So what I'm gonna do then is I'll open up the bleeder and then I'll push it and fluid will come through. We'll see it in a minute. And then close the bleeder, and then I can let the lever release. And I'll just do that a bunch of times. If you catch the hose right by the fork there, Ebe, you can see fluid starting to come through. And you can see there's some air bubbles in it.
Yep, I see.
So we're gonna go ahead and do this until we don't see air bubbles anymore. Finishing touch, just putting on the cap screws for our Rizoma reservoir. Everything's working out great. Brake lever feels phenomenal. No zip tie necessary even.
Yeah.
But bring this back into some kind of normal span. Still, it's right there. That feels really nice.
It looks like it.
And that is our Brembo master cylinder install with Rizoma reservoir.
Looks good.
If you're interested in these parts, go check out Moto Million's website. I'm sure he's got them listed up there.
And they'll be in the description of this video. Make sure that you use discount code 650EVE.
Thanks for watching along, and hopefully wind up with something else cool to install for you guys. But I think we are going to get the body work back on this and get this bike back on the road. Make sure that it's a great road-worthy machine, ready to go to its new home.
That's right, sir. I'm excited to ride it, Zach.
Cool. Well, let's get it back together.
You got it, man.
All right.
Thank you, Zach.
Later.
All right, guys, don't forget, you can enter to win this motorcycle. Information on how you can be our next new bike build series winner. Always the first link in the description of my videos. Come join our Patreon family, and you might ride away on this beautiful purple-wheeled beast of a motorcycle. Thanks so much for viewing, guys. We'll catch you next time on the 650EVE YouTube channel.